The NFL draft is today, and I think the Bengals are planning something big. Welcome back to the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm actually filming this really late, so actually the NFL draft is actually today, even though I'm filming this at 1 o'clock in the morning. But now that we're officially here, let's talk about the first round. The first round of the NFL draft is today. And there's 4 names I think the Bengals should have on their big board. 4 names. One of these 4 players should be drafted, and I'm going to break down every single one of them and why. So let's, without further ado, this is the name I've probably mentioned the most. Defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. He should obviously be on the radar for Cincinnati. Once again, I talked about him a lot, but last season, 48 total tackles, 26 solo, 6.5 sacks, PFF grade-wise of 88.9. He's a massive human being. Lots of pure talent. He's a run stopper, which would be huge for Cincinnati, especially in the AFC North. But he has to be one of the 4. And I think realistically there should only be 4. Walter Nolan should be one of the 4. If he's there, it's going to be hard to pass him up because of the talent, because of his size, because of his speed, because of his hand speed, because of his passion for playing football. Like, look at this photo. He's very passionate. He loves the game of football. He's already visited Cincinnati. It would be hard to say no to Walter Nolan. So, Walter Nolan, keep an eye out for him today. Later on today in the first round of the draft. The next guy who I think we should be focusing on is edge rusher from Marshall, Mike Green. Last season, total 81 tackles, 38 solo, 2 passes deflected, 17 sacks. Yes, you heard me, 17 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, PFF grade-wise of 92.4. Once again, with both Walter Nolan and Mike Green, both massive amounts of talent, massively pure talent, speed, hand speed. Obviously, one is in the interior, one's on the edge. I think, personally, if both are available, once I name all 4, if there's only 2 available still, and it's Walter Nolan and Mike Green, I'm leaning Mike Green, because if we figure out Trey Hendrickson, at least we have T.J. Slayton and B.J. Hill, and then you end off the D-line with Mike Green. Absolutely insanely deadly defensive line, and he's just pure talent is absolutely insane. If he falls to 17, once again, I'm going to say the same thing with all 4 of these players. It's insanely hard to pass him up. Next guy, if you realized the Cincinnati Bengals defense has a lot to fix. If you want to try to fix or fill a little bit of the holes with one player, you go Jahad Campbell, linebacker out of Alabama. Last season, 119 total tackles, 55 solo, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, PFF grade-wise, 81.6. He does it all. He's a run-stop linebacker, but you can also put him as the edge, and he's a great coverage guy. He's literally the entire package is in one. If you want someone that can fill the needs of the entire defense for the Cincinnati Bengals, which is the main focal point for next season, is fixing the defense. The guy that can fill as many holes as possible in one pick is Jahad Campbell. That's why, as I'm sitting here recording this right now, I am leading Jahad Campbell. If those 3 that I have mentioned, Walter Nolan, Mike Green, and Jahad Campbell, are all still available at 17, as of right now, my mind could change, but as of right now, as I'm sitting here, I'm picking Jahad Campbell because of the fact that he can do it all. He can stop the run in the second line of the defense. He can get after the quarterback. 5 sacks as a linebacker last year. 1 interception. 2 forced fumbles. He is a great coverage guy. He can go from all the way to the left side of the field all the way to the right side of the field. He's got a lot of talent. He's smart. He knows what the quarterback is going to do. If you want somebody, once again, that can fill every hole, not completely, but can fill portions of the hole, all of the holes on the defensive side for the Bengals, Jahad Campbell's the pick. Once again, I'll say this right now as I'm sitting here. If all 3 of the players I've already mentioned are still available, I'm picking Jahad Campbell as of right now. Except if this fourth and final guy we should be focusing on is still there. Tight end out of Penn State, Tyler Warren. I think he is the most dynamic player in this draft, probably outside of Travis Hunter. And you could kind of debate, and I would be interested in your debate between Travis Hunter and Tyler Warren. Last season, receiving 104 receptions for 1,233 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns, average 11.9 yards per catch. What about rushing? 26 carries, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground. His PFF ROI is 91.4. Out of the 4, if all of them are available, this is saying all 4 of them are available when we are picking Cincinnati Bengals 17. If all 4 are available, you would have to go Tyler Warren, in my opinion. You would have to, because of how dynamic he is. Yes, there's so many needs on defense, and it would be hard to pick an offensive player. And I said this with my offensive lineman, why I wouldn't take one in the first round. I guess you could say the same thing with tight end, but the fact that Tyler Warren can be plugged in anywhere, it would be impossible to turn him down if he's there at 17. I realistically don't think he's going to fall. I really don't think he's going to fall past the Colts. If he makes it past the Colts, I would be insanely surprised, and I would be very happy that he would be a Cincinnati Bengal, because he can play as a tight end. He is great at blocking. You can put him in, as many of you have mentioned in the comments, you can put him in at a quarterback in the Wildcat formation. You can put him as a halfback. He did it at Penn State. You can put him in at a fullback. Imagine him running alongside Chase Brown, blocking for him. Imagine that. Tyler Warren, you can put him in the slot. You can put him out wide. You can literally do so many things with Tyler Warren. You can put him on the offensive line if you wanted to. He played center for Penn State last year. He can do it all. He is a swift army knife, just like Taysom Hill for the Saints. He would be that for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think next year he will be the best tight end in the NFL because of how versatile he is. So that's why if all 4 of these players are available at 17, I am picking Tyler Warren because of the talent and because of the multiple different positions he can play in his diversity. That's why I would pick him. But these are the 4. If it's any other player other than these 4, I think Cincinnati made a mistake. I think it's Cincinnati. There's maybe a few that you could pick out. Maybe like Malachi Starks or Nick Emenwari. But there's so many other safeties that you could go after, like Xavier Watts in the 2nd round, or even Malachi Moore late, 5th round from Alabama, that are roughly the same talent. That's what's so good about this draft class, is that once you start getting into later rounds, they're pretty much the exact same talent from the 2nd rounders or the 3rd rounders. This is probably one of the deepest drafts we've seen in a long time. But these 4 players should be the 4 players the Bengals have on the draft board. If I was the Bengals, I would have a whiteboard right next to me watching the draft. You don't even have to trade. Just watch the draft. Watch as we're going. Also, once again, let me know if you want me to do a live stream during the draft. If you guys want me to, I will. But anyways, find the Bengals, whiteboard with the names. In no particular order: defensive tackle, Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. Edge rusher, Marshall, Mike Green. Linebacker, Alabama, Jahad Campbell. Tight end, Penn State, Tyler Warren. And I cross them off. If one of them gets drafted, cross them off. If 3 of them get drafted, but 1 is available at 17, great. Pick him, whoever it is. Let's say Mike Green, Jahad Campbell, and Tyler Warren are all gone by 17. Great. We're picking Walter Nolan. Let's say Walter Nolan, Mike Green, and Jahad Campbell are all gone, but Tyler Warren's there. Great. Take Tyler Warren. Let's say Tyler Warren, Jahad Campbell, and Walter Nolan are gone. All right. We're taking Mike Green. Now, Walter Nolan, Mike Green, and Tyler Warren are gone, but Jahad Campbell's still there. You're taking Jahad Campbell. That would be what I would do if I was a Cincinnati Bengals GM. If I was Duke Tobin, that would be my strategy. I'm looking at these 4. No one else. Just these 4. Now, obviously, there could be a scenario where 2 of them are still available, maybe even 3, maybe even for some odd reason, all 4 are available. If all 4 are available, I've already said it, but if all 4 are available, I would take Tyler Warren because of the talent that he has. And then Jahad Campbell would be my second choice, and then probably Mike Green and Walter Nolan. I've said right now multiple times in this channel that Walter Nolan is my favorite to be the Cincinnati Bengals pick. And I still feel that way. That I feel like most likely they will pick Walter Nolan no matter what. But for just some reason, because of the starting rotation of TJ Slayton and BJ Hill, and the fact that we don't even have Trey Hendrickson secured, and we already lost Sam Hubbard, I think it would be way more important for us to get Mike Green, edge rusher first, than Walter Nolan. Unless you're going Walter Nolan and then you're going to get an edge rusher in the second or third round like a Jack Sawyer, then I'm fine with that as well. But you could also get Mike Green first round, edge rusher if you want to get another defensive tackle early. Round 2, go get Tyleik Williams. Or if you want to stay a little bit later, go get Ty Robinson out of Nebraska, who I think is an excellent player, who Cincinnati has brought on a visit. There's so many ways you could go around it. Even, Jahad Campbell, right? He's a linebacker, stops the run, gets after the quarterback, plays coverage. What do you do if you select Jahad Campbell first round? Okay. Then what I would probably do is probably defensive tackle second round. Or maybe not. Maybe I go Xavier Watts. Because our secondary, it was injured last year, but it was kind of atrocious. There was a lot of wide receivers getting behind our DBs. Yes? So maybe go Xavier Watts round 2. I would be fine with that. My favorite player right now, or maybe go Tate Ratledge second round because you want to protect Joe Burrow. And I'm all protecting Joe Burrow. No, I'm not getting in. You might be saying, why do I not see an offensive lineman in the 4 players? Because of the depth of the O-line in this draft, I would much rather go after a defensive player in the first round and then get Tate Ratledge in the second round. That's what I'd rather do. Or wait maybe in 4th, 5th round and get Clay Webb out of Jack State, who is going to be probably one of the better linemen in this draft, even though he's going to be drafted really, really late because he's from Jack State. But that's what I would do. I'm not taking Tyler Booker in the first round because of our other needs. Yes, protecting Joe should be the first need, but there's no reason to protect Joe if our defense can't protect the goal line. Protecting Joe, yeah, he might score us 100 points, but if the other team is scoring 120 points, then we're not going to win a Super Bowl. So that's why there was no offensive lineman. I would rather go with Tate Ratledge in the second round, who I think is probably equal talent to Tyler Booker, maybe even better. And he already has the connection with Amarius Mims because they both went to Georgia and were teammates. And I've said this multiple times. That would be my number 2 pick. Our second round pick would be Tate Ratledge. But once again, I'm going all track. Let me break it down for you. If you want defensive tackle, if you want to stop the run, you take Walter Nolan. If you want to get after the quarterback, and there's a lot of guys in the AFC North that you have to watch out for, especially if the Steelers draft Jackson Dart, because that boy can run. Maybe not Joe Flacco for the Browns, but if you want to get after the quarterback, Mike Green. And he's just insanely talented. I mean, honestly, the same with Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell was a great spy of the quarterbacks, and he's fast. He could probably keep up with Lamar Jackson. He could probably not tame Lamar Jackson completely because no one can, because Lamar Jackson is going to be Lamar Jackson. But he's honestly a very good bet for that as well. And he gets after the quarterback, sack-wise. And he stops the run. And he plays coverage. Or if you want a Swiss Army knife for Joe Burrow, who can do anything for Joe Burrow, then you get Tyler Warren. I realistically don't think he's going to be there. But if he's there, it's hard to say no. So for me, these are the 4 names I'm going to be watching for the most later tonight. Once again, defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. Edge rusher from Marshall, Mike Green. Linebacker from Alabama, Jahad Campbell. And tight end from Penn State, Tyler Warren. Let me know if there's any other players that you guys are going to be watching out for. But I think for me, this is pretty clear the 4 players Cincinnati should be worrying about. And if we go outside of these 4, I would be really interested. Unless for some reason my mind is just blanked on other players. But these 4 are the 4 players to me that we should be focusing on the most in the first round. And then, obviously, every day I'll put more and more players into this conversation as we get later on into the rounds. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel as we're on the road to 1,500. Comment down below how you feel about my 4 players. And if you have any other players you think I should be looking for or you think the Bengals should be working for. Also, comment down below if you want me to do a live stream during the draft. Because if you want me to, I'll do it. If you don't want me to, then I won't do it. It's up to you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video for the Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Have an amazing one, and God bless.